And then Christian, was he fair?
No, he was a mixture. His hair wasn't quite as dark as grandmother's. But, and he was taller, like grandmother. Not chubby like grandfather.
She was tall and thin?
Yes. He was taller than his father.
Yes. Now, he's the one that came to the United
America,
States.
yes. And he opened up a photographic studio in Boston.
Yes.
For many years.
Now, he sent magazines to your mother, did he?
Yes.
From America.
Yes. And Mother looked forward to it every month, you know.
Yes. What kind of a magazine was it?
Like the journal, you know, the Ladies' Home Journal.
Yes.
And what is the other one? That famous one. It's so well read. Oh,
I know there were Collier's and Saturday Evening Post and McCall's.
yeah, but it wasn't one of those. No.
More like...
well, like I said, the one with Ladies' Home
It was
Journal.
similar to the Ladies' Home Journal, or was it different from that?
Well, it's still on the market.
Oh, still here?
It's still on the market.
Oh.
And it's about this big.
Oh. Like the
Good
housekeeping? Oh, is it Good Housekeeping? Oh, good, yeah.
Good housekeeping.
Oh, that's good. You have a good memory. Gosh,
yes.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And so then you saw a glimpse of America through those pages.
Yes. I used to read it, you know,
yes.
Pretend I could read it.
Yes. Now, did he go to the university or something in Denmark? Christian? Did he?
He was in the army.
Oh, he was in the army.
In those days, your superiors were very superior.
Yes.
And he was in the guard because he was tall. And let's see. One night, he went to a tavern with a friend. And they talked about the king.
Yes.
And his friend heard my Uncle Christian say something, you know, that he shouldn't have said.
Yes.
And he reported him.
It was just some criticism.
Yes. So he was ousted of the army. And Uncle Christian, after that, didn't like it in Denmark anymore. So he came over here and lived very happily ever after.
It was probably a good thing for him.
I think it was.
Yes, how
a wonderful experience.
Yes. From something that seemed such a tragedy,
yes,
became something that
right.
was good.
And his sister Christina came over here to visit him. Yes. She never came to Germany. But she did go to America, to Boston.
Just for a visit, and then she went back?
Yes.
Oh, how interesting. Yes.
Oh, yes. And she met his wife and 3 daughters.
Yes. When he was in the army, had he joined voluntarily, or was it, were they...
he was...
kind of...
It was the regular thing.
Yeah,
when
they
were
all
21,
certain age.
All young men went into the army.
Yeah, that's what
Grandfather Schmidt, too.
Oh, he did too?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Yes.
He was very proud of her.
Yeah, being in the army. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was tall.
Yes.
And handsome.
Yes. Now, what was his coloring? What was, I've seen pictures of him, and I kind of remember him, when he had his white beard, and he was a handsome man.
But, he must have been quite a picture.
Yes.
But when they were just married, Carl's mother and grandfather Schmidt, and he was an inspector on a great big, they called him Rittergut, which means it belongs to someone, who is really up there in ranks. And he fell from the horse and broke his hip. I think it was only one hip. But it never healed right. That was so long ago, And all his life he limped.
Yes.
He couldn't walk right.
Told me that your mother had adopted a little mulatto boy.
Yes.
And you said, well, tell me.
Well, he was a baby, and something happened to his mother. I never heard about his father. And so my father and mother took him in. And of course, mother was teaching all the time, and so was father. So our colored mammy took care of all of us, including that little boy.
Well, do you think that they adopted him because he didn't have any parents?
Well, they didn't really adopt him. I mean, they took him in and raised him until he was about 5 or 6 years old. And then some family there took him, some of the natives,
And was his father a white man and his mother colored?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And you remember playing with him?
No, I don't, because I wasn't even there yet.
Oh, that was before you were born.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I think my oldest brother, or maybe 2 of my older brothers, they were raised, with him.
Were there other colored children that you played with?
Oh, yes, lots of them. And that's all I played with. The doctor had a little boy, but he didn't come around too often. But I used to go to the doctor's house, and then I played with his son. And one day, on my birthday, we had a little party at the doctor's house. And the doctor gave his son and me each a little gold ring. And he said, now you two are engaged.
How cute.
And we were 4 years old.
You were both 4. And did you like him, too?
Oh, yes. We had lots of fun together. And when I was about 7, the ring got so tight that Mother said, wear it on the little finger instead of the gold finger, what we call the gold finger. And so I put it on my little finger one day, and we were chasing each other around in the garden, And I lost the ring, and I never found it again.
Oh, was that too bad?
And I cried.
It seems to me that you told me about some games that you used to play with the little children. Is that?
Oh, yes, we used to sing a little song. Mitchie knows it.
Oh,
Mitchie can sing it for you. Yes, she knows all the words and everything.
Is that right? We'll have to get Mitchie to sing it sometime. Yeah.
It's real cute.
Yeah. And did you play some kind of little games with sticks or?
No, we used to all sit in a circle, and we used to put our bare feet. We went barefooted there, and we used to put them close together. We were sitting on the ground, and then we'd would count our toes and sing the song. And the words were, I don't know anymore, really. It might come back again, but I don't know. Anyway, then so and so many toes, would be left after a while, and if we didn't get tired of the whole thing.
And how many kids were there that would play with you?
Oh, 6 or 7.
Oh, so there were quite a few.
John and I, and the rest were all little colored boys and girls.
Now, what about Christine? Was she married, or did she have children?
I never knew.
You didn't know.
I know she was married.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, her children might be older, because she was an older
Oh,
person.
yes, she was quite a bit older than my mother. She might have had children, grandchildren even, But all I know is that she raised us all.
One of the stories I like, too, is when you used to get your Easter bonnet from Uncle John.
Oh, my Aunt Agnes. Every Easter, she would buy me a new hat. That hat had to last all summer. So she would send me, she never went long. She would send me to her, what do you call it? The people that make hats. The woman that, no, the woman that made her hats for her. Anyway, and she would let me pick out a hat, just a plain hat without a ribbon or anything on it. And then she'd come out with boxes full of ribbons and flowers and what have you. And I could pick out the flowers, and she would decorate the hat and put the ribbons on it and everything just the way I wanted it. And when it was finished, she'd bring it to me, and I was always so delighted. Yes, I remember one hat that I picked out. It was a dark blue straw, and I picked out a red ribbon to put around it, and she gathered the ribbon together, so it was real fluffy all around the hat, and it was the prettiest thing. And one year I had a white straw hat, and I picked out all the flowers that grow in the fields, buttercups and forget-me-nots and daisies and all those pretty little flowers. And she put them all around the hat.
How pretty.
Out of the hat. Yes. I wore that hat the longest because I loved it so.
Now, this same Uncle John was the one that used to shave the wood and...
No,
that was a different uncle?
No, that was a different Uncle John. But they were cousins.
Oh, those two were cousins.
Those two were cousins, yes. And they lived in the same town. And that fellow was a carpenter, see. Uncle John had the glove factory, remember?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Now, what about the linen? It seems the tablecloth and so forth.
Oh, that was from Denmark.
I mean, one of your relatives, didn't they make...
In Denmark.
Oh, that was
in Denmark.
Oh, which one was that then?
That was my mother's father's aunt.
Oh.
It was my mother's great aunt. See? That her husband had a hand loom, and he was the one that made these beautiful tablecloths and napkins and even towels,
And they lasted to this day because I still have some.
Yeah. Yes. They're supposed to last 100 years. Yes, even if you use them every day. They're not supposed to.
And he wove them himself.
Of linen thread. And his wife spun the linen thread. And then he made the tablecloth and napkins and things out of it.
Did you know what his name was, or the family name?
No.
It seemed there were some initials or something.
No, that was my mother's sister's initial. Because these were made for my mother's sister. The ones we have, CB.
Yes.
That is Christine Bow.
Oh, I see.
Christine Bow.